Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, January 11th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by my co-host, Mr. TC Stills. All you Yankee fans out there, wake up and get your coffee. TC, how you feeling, big fella?
Feeling good. Actually, non-Yankee news, my Steelers actually squeaked into the playoffs. So that's got me excited. But, back to the Yankees. Excited to see someone get signed finally. We've been waiting so long since Soto and Verdugo. So, my goodness, Cashman, let's go. Let's pull the trigger here. Come on. And shout out to everybody in the chat, guys. Good to see you. Miss you guys. It's once a week thing. I don't know. It's getting it's hard.
I miss you, TC. Just know that, and I know folks in the chat, they miss you as well. But I know you got to do your thing, and
it's all good.
You got an open door policy. You're my co-host for life. But I want to shout out the chat before we continue. Before I do that, folks. We're sitting at 2,771 subscribers. We are 29 subscribers away from 2,800. So if there's any of you guys out there who haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, smack that like button for your boys. And the New York Yankees spring training is literally around the corner. According to reports, we'll get into it later, but the Yankees will be sending pitchers and catchers, get this, on Valentine's Day. Yeah. That has to suck. If you're a pitcher and catcher, you got to spend Valentine's Day at work. Nah, but
definitely give each other, those little sweethearts. So just share
a little Hershey kisses here and there. A little Hershey kisses. Let's do a little bit of the roll call before we get into anything. Anna Marie, how are you doing, Anna Marie? I hope all is well. Salute to you, Anna Marie, with the 80s freestyle on deck. My guy, Richie Rivera from Empire State of Baseball. Richie, how you doing? Salute to you, my guy. NFE is in the building. NFE. Salute to my guy, NFE. Anthony Medina, mi hermano de la isla. Yes. Salute. Our friend Jacob Petruzzi in the building. How you doing? Tyler Tabbitt is in the building. 01LS1Z2ADABX is in the building. And just to let everybody know, your giveaways are in the mail. Frank Luna put them in the mail. I was on the phone. I was having a conversation with Frank Luna. Everything is ready to go. So all of you out there, watch your mailbox over the next week and some change. And for my friend who's in Ireland, typing out that address or putting the information, I was like, my guy's in Ireland, but like I said, make sure you check out. Look, we are definitely worldwide. Keep a lookout on your mailbox over the next week and a half. You will be getting your giveaway. My guy Nathan from the NNR Hour is in the building. Dr. Hitskins is in the building. Stephen B is in the building. Salute. 3 capital S's like always. Smack that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Yankee Kyle, appreciate you for always sharing us on your community tab, my guy. And like always, remember, drink some water. Make sure you say something nice about yourself every morning. But TC, let's get into the conversation, because the rumors have it that the New York Yankees, after signing that person that they signed yesterday, the Yankees are looking to sign someone else. And a lot of Yankee fans are losing their marbles because of it. Marcus Stroman, the Yankees seem like they're favorites, according to John Morosi. The Yankees have emerged as the top candidate to sign Marcus Stroman. Sources say, I'm told that the sides have had productive discussions in recent days. When it comes to Marcus Stroman, he may piss a lot of people off on social media. There may be some Yankee fans out there that is blocked by Marcus Stroman.
Yeah.
TC, I throw it to you. What's your thoughts? And does this mean? Because when I heard this, it seems like the Yankees are kind of desperate after losing out on Yamamoto in the pitching market. What's your thoughts, TC? And let the folks know how you feel about Stroman.
Well, he didn't block me, so I guess that's good. But I don't talk to the guy, so he doesn't know who I am. So, geez, Marcus Stroman. If this was 3 years ago, maybe I'd be excited, but now he's lost a lot of velocity. He's an average pitcher now. I mean, man. The thing that goes with Marcus Stroman would be if we ended up getting a Blake Snell or a Dylan Cease with Marcus Stroman, I'm okay with that. But just signing Marcus Stroman and saying, "Yeah, we're good. Let's go. Let's start the season." That's another question mark. I mean, we have enough question marks. We've talked about it. Everybody's talked about how it's Cole and nobody else. It's just question mark after question mark, and this is just another one. And I don't know. If we have to, it seems like desperation right now. But we shouldn't be in that mode. We really shouldn't. I mean, we should go all in, especially signing Juan Soto. That's an all-in championship move. And to now pivot and do a desperation move, that reminds me of last year with our left field situation and our bench. And I mean, no, we don't need to go down that road. Again, like I said, if it's Stroman and someone else, maybe like a Snell or a Cease or someone like that, yes, I can see that. But I'm not a big fan of Marcus Stroman. I at this point, yeah, like I said, a couple years ago, but I don't know. What do you think, Hector?
Listen, as a fifth starter, I can live with it, right? I'm not bringing in Marcus Stroman to be my number 2 ace behind Garrett Cole. I'm not doing that. And like you said, and like I said earlier, it seems like the Yankees are getting desperate, right? When the rumors first came out there, when the rumor came out that Marcus Stroman wanted to engage with the Yankees, the rumor was that the Yankees didn't want any part of Marcus Stroman. But then after a week, it came back around that, well, the Yankees, they've had conversations and the Yankees seem like the favorite for Marcus Stroman. And I'm going to just say this. I know you and I was talking backstage. And like I said, I know there may be some Yankee fans that do not like Marcus Stroman because of the stuff on social media, the stuff on Twitter, the back and forth. But I'm going to tell you this like this. If some Yankee fans were willing to give Trevor Bauer a chance, a second opportunity, I don't see why we can't give Marcus Stroman a chance or a second opportunity in the Bronx with the New York Yankees. There were some Yankee fans that hated Roger Clemens, but as soon as the Rocket became a Yankee, everybody forgot about his time with the Boston Red Sox. So I understand it. Marcus Stroman may rub some people the wrong way on social media. He may rub some fans the wrong way on Twitter. He may have deleted a lot of his former comments about the New York Yankees. But as a fifth starter, you got to ask yourself, if this is a playoff game, hypothetically, let's do hypotheticals right here. If this was a playoff game and Garrett Cole couldn't pitch, Carlos Rodon, he came back, had a great year, he going to pitch in that game, who would you rather have? Would you rather Clark Schmidt pitch for you, or would you rather Marcus Stroman pitch for you? And if you ask me, I'll give it to Marcus Stroman when it comes to that. What's your thoughts about what I just brought up, TC?
Yeah, you bring up some valid points. Yeah, I mean he's got the experience. He's been around, and yeah, I probably would tend to want to pick Marcus Stroman over Clark Schmidt. Even Nestor Cortez too. I would, Stroman has that. He has that pedigree. He has that experience. So, you never know. I mean, he down the line. I mean, if he's not one of our top 3, he's like a 4 or 5, like you said. I mean, it could work out. A lot of, less pressure. He's working with Matt Blake. He's got Garrett Cole, Rodon, possibly, a Snell in there. I mean, now we're talking. Now, we have depth. We have, we don't have to put a Will Warren in there, and pitch 150 innings, or Clayton Beater or Chase Hampton. I mean, less pressure on the young guys is better for this team. And we can't go into the season relying on all rookie pitchers and a rotating fifth starter. It just doesn't work. And we also need probably 6 starters to start the season, because
Yeah.
everybody goes only like 3, 4 to get their pitch count up. So you might be convincing me a little bit better on getting Marcus Stroman here. So
And I don't want people out there to think that, I just want to sign Marcus Stroman and call it a day. No, absolutely not. I still want this team to go out there and get Blake Snell, who the rumors have it that teams are offering Blake Snell a 3 to 4 year contract. We'll get into that conversation later on, but I don't think Marcus Stroman should be the only move we make. No, absolutely not. It has to be either Blake Snell, a Dylan Cease, and like I said, Marcus Stroman to be your 5th starter, if that is even the case, right?
Yeah.
Marcus Stroman could be using other teams, could be using the Yankees as a way to get other teams involved in the conversation. I don't know what the market is really when it comes to Marcus Stroman. Some of the big guys still haven't signed. Jordan Montgomery is still out there. Blake Snell is still out there. So there's a lot of pieces that haven't moved at the moment that we're waiting for them to move before anything else can happen, right? I know when it comes to Texas, according to the reports, they're waiting for this whole TV debacle deal to be done before they give the money to Jordan Montgomery, and Jordan Montgomery is waiting on the Texas Rangers to get that situation done before he sat at the table. And shout out to Rara, who's in the building, who said, can't compare Bauer to Stroman. No, I'm not comparing them with what they're done. But what I'm saying, Rara, if there's some Yankee fans out there that would rather give a chance to Trevor Bauer, why can't we give a chance to Marcus Stroman? That's the only thing I'm saying. If you are willing to give a chance to Trevor Bauer, why not give a chance to Marcus Stroman? Because he hurt your feelings on Twitter. He may have had you blocked on Twitter. I know he has me blocked on Twitter because I was going back and forth with Trevor Bauer. And I think the Yankees PR department, if we're being frank, I think the Yankees PR department would shut that down, right? Look at Josh Donaldson. Josh Donaldson was very active on Twitter. He was going back and forth on Twitter with a lot of fans. He shut that down once he became a Yankee. Right. So I'm pretty sure that the Yankees PR department will be able to shut him up when it comes to what he does on social media, or if not shut him up, let me take that back. Tone him just a little bit down when it comes to his interactions on social media. But the internet is forever, right? TC, the internet is forever. You may have deleted some of your tweets that you said about Brian Cashman or the New York Yankees or some of the Yankee fan base. But the internet is forever because people had screenshots, and people have been sharing screenshots over the past 24 hours when it comes to Marcus Stroman, right?
They have receipts.
Minus the stuff that he said about the Yankees fan base, right? I don't want to get into that, going back and forth with the fans. But what he said about the Yankees, about Brian Cashman, it's not stuff that we haven't said about the Yankees. He said the Yankees spend all this money. They should be winning World Series every year. That's something that us fans, we agree with. Is that not so, TC? Do you agree with that, with what he said?
100%. 100%. We talk about it all the time.
If he's saying what the fans are actually saying on Twitter, yes, going back and forth with the fan base is a different conversation. But the things he said about Brian Cashman and the Yankees, that's something that we have all talked about. Go ahead.
I mean, but coming from a player point of view, it's different. If it's a fan, it's like, they can brush us off, and the Yankee brass can say, oh, that's just fans, just blabbering. Even Michael Kay even made shots at the fans, saying, oh, you sound like a fan. Coming from a player, it's the front office is gonna perk up and say, wow, a player's talking about us like that. So it's just the different view where it's coming from. But when you're talking about what Stroman is going to get, I mean, look at Frankie Montas. What do we get? $16 million for 1 year.
16 million for 1 year.
20. I mean, he's gonna ask for 20 or something, you know.
Well, he turned down. He had a player option with the Cubs for this season for 21 million. So he turned down 21 million to hit the free agent market. So
Yeah,
if the Yankees are even entertaining conversations with Marcus Stroman on a 1-year deal that's 21 or 22 million dollars,
easy. Yeah.
you use that money for Blake Snell. Throw an extra
Yes.
10 million and sign Blake Snell for 30 to 31 million. If you are willing to give Marcus Stroman 20 to 21 million dollars on a 1-year deal, you better not hesitate when it comes to Blake Snell. That is what's going to get me upset, because that's the same shit that happened when it came to Josh Donaldson. We traded for Josh Donaldson. We ate his $25 million, and we didn't want to give Carlos Correa an extra 10 million. Granted, hindsight 50-50, that Carlos Correa contract hasn't worked out for the Minnesota Twins. But us as a fan base, we was upset because you're not penny pitching. You're using your money the wrong way, if I can say that, TC, right?
That's the thing. Yes.
Look, my guy Ra in the chat says it perfectly.
Exactly.
Spend money on the wrong players. That's Cashman's fault. That's why we are where we are at. Absolutely.
He thinks he's smarter than everybody else, but he's not.
Yep. Chris N in the chat also brings up they viewed Yamamoto as a $300 million guy. They aren't going to just spend that money on anyone that they don't see. They don't see these free agents as big money guys. That may be the case. That definitely may be the case. I know somebody, Mike Perez in the chat, says once the arbitration process is done, which I think is tomorrow, this Friday, the TV deal is done, some movement, and there's also the Boris factor, which is in full effect. Absolutely. Scott Boris, if he can't wait, he's going to wait to like the last day, right? If spring training's the next day, he's gonna wait till like one day before spring training, before any of his guys sign, because he's trying to get the most money. And as an agent, that's what you're supposed to do. But folks, let's look at some of Marcus Stroman's stats before we fully indict him. Let's just look at some of his stats, right? So in 2014, Marcus Stroman, his rookie year, he was 11-6 with a 3.65 ERA. That was just in 130 innings. Second year, injured season, he only pitched 27 innings. The year after that, in 2016, 204 innings. 2017, 201 innings. 2018, injury season, 102 innings. 2019 was the year he was traded to the Mets. He pitched combined with Toronto and the Mets 184 innings. 2021, 179 innings. 2022, 138. And 2023, last year, 136 innings. For the first half of the season, he was pitching with an ERA that was below 250, but then it ballooned in the second half. He was dealing with hip injuries and stuff like that. So when it comes to availability, TC, we always say your best ability is availability. Yes, Marcus Stroman, he's going to make a handful of starts. Let's say hypothetically, the best case scenario, if the Yankees do sign him, 150, 160 innings, right? If he pitched 130 last year, is that worth 20 to 21 million dollars? Are we going to give a guy 20 to 21 million dollars to pitch 150 innings, 140 innings just because we lost out on Yamamoto and it seems like we're desperate right now? What's your thoughts, TC?
Yeah, the way, looking at these stats, the way I see it is games started, he's probably averaged anywhere from 22 to 25 starts a year, right? So if you're going to give him 21 million, that's almost $1 million a start. No way. I'm not giving him $1 million per start. No. That's Garrett Cole. Garrett Cole, yes, I'm doing that all day long. Not Marcus Stroman right now at this time in his career. I'm sorry. It's just Yamamoto and Ohtani. They blew the market up with what they've ruined it. So we can blame them on where this pitching market is right now. It's outrageous. If Frankie Montas is getting 16 million and he pitched 1 1/3 innings last year, I mean it's out of control.
But what you're missing,
I don't know where we go. I don't know how we fix this.
You're missing the fact that he had an ERA that was under 0, my guy. Frankie Montas' ERA was 0.00. He was the best pitcher in the American League. Right. That's why he got paid. He said, move over Garrett Cole. I am I am the new face in town. I got some chats I want to bring up. My guy Don Sicario, and granted, Medina, I definitely know what I definitely feel where you're coming from. Having half of the fan base blocked on social media is not a good look whatsoever. I get that, Medina, but my guy Don Sicario in the chat says, Medina, I get it, but at the same time, fans are going to have to accept the reality that there's a slight chance the Yankees bring him on board, regardless of how many of us he's blocked, because he's cheaper, which is the truth. You know, we may have to come to reality that the Yankees may bring him aboard and he may be on this team next year. And guess what? At the end of the day, I'm still going to root for my team. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
If and I think my guy Librarian Joe, I just want to bring it up one more time. I think he said it perfectly. Best case scenario with Marcus Stroman, the worst, he implodes, he pitches to a 7 ERA, then he blames the fan base for booing him. The best case scenario, he helps the Yankees win a World Series, and he writes a book with Jack Curry in 2038 called Always Wanted the Pinstripes, a Magical 2024 Season. And that's the best and the worst case scenario, right? Like I said, like he said, worst case scenario, he gets blown up, he has an ERA in the 7, he blames the fan base, the Yankees cut him by the time the All-Star break is here. And then the best case scenario, he helps us win a World Series. So it's a two-sided sword when it comes to that. But I do respect and understand how fans feel when it comes to Marcus Stroman. Like I said, having half of the fan base blocked is definitely not a good look when it comes to being on the New York Yankees. Shout out to my guy Richie Rivera in the chat who says, TC, I second your thought. The prove-it deals this offseason have been disgusting in terms of money. Montas, Sevi, Giolito, and Manaya shouldn't be making the money they are being offered. And I gotta echo what Richie is saying. The pitching market right now is very thin. It's very thin. It's supply and demand. The demand for pitching is at an all-time high right now. The supply for decent pitching in Major League Baseball is not that high. It's not that many good arms to pick from. So when you lose out on Yamamoto, you're stuck trying to decide, should you give Blake Snell a 6-year deal or should you give Marcus Stroman a 1-year deal? And if I'm the Yankees, I'm coming down off of the 6 years from Blake Snell. If we could get Blake Snell for a 3-year with a 4th year as an option, copy. Eat half of that money at the last year if he wants to walk away. If the Yankees don't want to pick it up, offer him some guaranteed money that last year just to walk away. You may have to pay him $30 to $35 million for the next 3 to 4 seasons just to secure yourself a number 2 starter behind Garrett Cole. What's your thoughts on that before we switch topics real quick?
Yeah, I mean, we're at a point where, you know, the window of opportunity is closing. So, you know, they might have to, you know, suck it up and say, you know what, we got to go for it. We got to get Blake Snell in here with Cole and Rodon. I mean, yeah, they, you know, those three, those are big contracts, and you know, for your top 3 pitchers to have these, you know, multiple year, you know, multi-million-dollar contracts, it weighs on you because you want to have some controllable pitchers in there, you know, and then half your payroll is on 3 pitchers, so it's tough, but as fans, we are running out of opportunity here with the Judge Cole years. Now with Soto, possibly just a 1-year rental. So we got to go all in, and you know, it's not our money. Go for it. Just so
I got hold on. I got somebody in the chat.
Real quick, I want to shout out Don Sicario and Gio on Pop for Tuesday's show, filling in for me. You know, great show. If you guys aren't tuning into the Tuesday show, Tuesday night, that's a great show. So and Rich Rivera for also subbing in. Shout out to him. You know, I mean, great takes. Don, Gio, that was a tremendous show. Even
I do like the Sunday, the Tuesday night shows when it comes to Yanks Brew and the late nights. Also, Later on today, for all you Knicks fans out there, we will be doing a Knicks pregame report at 8 o'clock. It's the first pregame report that we're doing. When it comes to the Yankees, we're gonna be doing the Yankees pregame report during the season as well. So this is a test run. When it comes to the Knicks, we'll be doing a playback with our friend Jerry Ferrara. So if any of you guys want to join us with the playback, you guys get the link. It's in the description of the video. You could come up on, watch the game with us, bullshit while we have a good time on there. So everybody is invited. We got 104 people in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button for your boys. And if you're watching us, and if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. My guy Jose Medina says, as long as Stroman Soto is not the only move, get another pitcher. I like that Stroman Soto. I was chuckling on the inside.
There we go,
And Medina says, just to clear up his point, he says, no, my point is he can dish it out, but he can't take it. And the moment he gets smacked around, the fans are going to let him have it. And let's see how much he can take it in the Bronx. And that's fair right there. I'm somebody that says, if you can dish it, you better be able to take it, right? If somebody comes for me online, you best believe I don't go low. I know this is saying when they go high, we go low. No, I go for your grandmother. If you come for me online, if you could dish it, you better be able to take it. Just like me, right? If I dish it, I better be able to take it. It's all fair, you know, and love and war. But no, Medina, I definitely get your take, and that is a very fair point. If you're going to be able to dish it, you better be able to take it. And my guy Damian Serrano also brings up the fact, oh my God, we have become very desperate, guys. We are trying to convince ourselves with Stroman. And you know what, Damian? Fair. Because that's what I've been doing over the past 24 hours, trying to convince myself that Marcus Stroman may be a good signing with the New York Yankees.
But like I said, there was no plan B. There was no plan B after Yamamoto. This is what we get.
Oh, no, and I've said it. Medina, you know I've said it. I didn't have a plan B. It was either Yamamoto or a bust. Appreciate Ra with the 99-cent super sticker. Appreciate you helping us keep the lights on. Shout out to you. Thank you for being in the chat. Like I said, we got over 100 people in the building. If you guys can't, smack that like button. My guy Joe Man says, now go look at Clevenger stats when Matt Blake had him. Listen. I'll take the dice roll on Clevenger when it comes to his ability, right? Because he is a solid, or he was a solid pitcher when he was under Matt Blake. So maybe Matt Blake can unlock some things. Richie Martinez also says, good morning, gentlemen. I said this to Pete. What you think of this what do you think of this? Throw the farm for Logan Webb and Camilo Doval. I'm not sure, man, when it comes to throwing the farm. Because you know the
Giants
Chicago
get rid of Logan Webb.
Yeah, the Giants, they have a hard time finding people to take their money. So I don't think they'll trade away one of their solid pieces and Logan Webb or Camilo Doval. Those are good arms. Those are good arms to have in your starting rotation and your bullpen. But I don't think the Giants would do that respectfully. I think they'll stay away from that. And with the asking price for starting pitching, you got the White Sox asking for at least 3 top 10 prospects for Dylan Cease. I'm giving you one top. I'm giving you one top 10 prospect and a couple of fill-ins. I'm not giving you 3 top 10 prospects. I know I got desperate, and you know Richie Rivera probably was going to hold the receipts, but I said Spencer Jones in a trade for Dylan Cease, or Spencer Jones in a trade for Jesus Luzardo, right? But I'm falling back off of that. I'm a politely decline when it comes to Dylan Cease if the asking price is 3 top 10 prospects.
Right.
Like my guy NFE says, they can kick rocks. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree totally. I mean, I'm not giving him up. No, not for Dylan Cease. No, not even for any. Yeah. I mean, the Corbin Burns maybe, but that's no. I think we've got past that already. I think we've kind of narrowed it down to. It might be a Bieber, a Cease, or Snell. That's about the 3 guys that I'm seeing. So
and
that's
Don
the holdup
Sicario,
is what we want.
Don Sicario, he brings up a perfect point. All of this could just be smoke and mirrors. It could all be smoke and mirrors when it comes to this thing. This could be all BS, and they want the Snell asking price to come down. Listen, if they're offering Blake Snell, I'm gonna say this again.
Forrest ain't gonna give in.
If they're offering Blake Snell 3 to 4 years at high AAV, The Yankees better pounce on that. That's all I'm going to say. The Yankees better pounce on that when it comes to Blake Snell. This is the last thing I'm going to say when it comes to Marcus Stroman. As a fifth starter, I'll take a gamble on him, but nothing more than $20 million. And that's after we sign Blake Snell. I'm not signing Marcus Stroman first and then going back to Blake Snell. No, because if you're Scott Boras, right, TC? Just hear me out. If you're Scott Boras and you see the Yankees just gave Marcus Stroman $21 million and your guy just came off of winning the Cy Young, you're going to want $15 more million than Marcus Stroman. Maybe you may even want to double that shit if you're Scott Boras. Hey, you want to give him $20 million? He only made a few starts in the second half of last year when my guy won the Cy Young. We want $40 million. If you're Scott Boras, you're sitting back and you're waiting to see what these other pitchers are getting before your big fish shines.
Agree. No, I'm totally with you. That's what it's all in negotiations. It's all behind the scenes. They all, it's this and that. We hear a little bit, and the reporting has been terrible anyway. So how do we even know if any of this is even true? So, but yeah, I'm with you. I wouldn't be opposed to that. 4 years, 160. I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
Right? Was that 40 million a year?
Your max and give him that opt out after 2. That's perfect. You maximize those first 3 years. And if the last year, if it doesn't age well, that last year on his contract, you just have him for that 4th year. You don't have him for a 5th or 6th or 7th year, potentially, if you give him that type of long-term contract.
He's what, 30? He's 31, so he'd be 31. Pitching into 35. So yeah.
And both Marcus Stroman and Trevor Bauer, they're both the same age. They ain't spring chickens anymore. We're not talking about 2 26-year-old. They're 30. They're going to be 33 during the season. Trevor Bauer is 32 right now. Marcus Stroman is 32. Their birthdays are this year. They'll be 33 during the season. That's all I'm going to say. My guy Richie Rivera with a spot on point. Boras is a smart businessman. Complete psychopath, but a smart businessman. Oh, he definitely is a psychopath. Folks, we got 115 people in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button. And we are sitting on 2773 when it comes to the subscribers. If you guys can help us get to 2,800, we are trying to get to 3,000 subscribers before spring training starts. Let's bring up the next topic. And the next topic, it may be a little bit of a curveball. Sal Licata was on WFAN yesterday. I'm gonna just share this. I have some audio about it as well. But apparently, when it comes to Sal Licata, according to his inside source, and Sal Licata is a Met fan, so this may hurt some Met fans out there. I'm not sure how you Yankee fans feel about it, but according to the reports, Pete Alonso wants to be either a Yankee or a Chicago Cub. What the fuck? Wow. Let's listen to this and let's come back for the conversation.
Feelings off of it. I still ultimately believe the Mets are going to bring Pete back and that Pete does want to be a New York Met. But I've been told, this is not the first time. Like this, we talked about this during the offseason, or I should say during the season. I'm not 100% certain that Alonso is all about being a lifelong Met.
I don't blame him.
It's very possible that he may prefer the 2 teams that I
Cubs,
heard.
Yankees.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't blame him.
TC, Pete Alonso, a future Yankee? What in the F? I didn't have that on my bingo card. What's your thoughts about that? Folks in the chat, Pete Alonso wants to be a Yankee. What's your thoughts? Are you having Judge, Alonso, Soto, and Dominguez in the lineup like Anna Marie just said? I know my mom's, who's a Met fan, she cursed me out right now. Go ahead, TC. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, that'd be beautiful. I mean, I could see that maybe next year. I mean, Rizzo's year contract's up, and if we could somehow get out of Stanton's contract, man, that would be amazing. What Anna Marie just said with Judge, Soto, and Alonso and Dominguez. Oh my goodness, now we're talking. That's championship caliber team there. So no, I wouldn't oppose. I'm not opposed. I mean, his defense isn't that great, but
yeah,
I mean that bat, you can't deny that bat. And he goes toe to toe with Judge, for most of the season. So, whew, how do you stop that lineup? I mean,
listen, the potential of having Aaron Judge and Pete Alonso hitting back to back in a lineup, it gives you goosebumps just thinking about it. But on the flip side of it, would he, who got Scott, he has Scott Boras representing him now as his agent.
Yeah.
I don't think the Yankees would be able to re-sign Juan Soto and give out a big-time contract to Pete Alonso. If you're Pete Alonso, if you're playing with the Mets, if you're in Queens, over these past 3 years, you've seen Max Scherzer get paid. You've seen Justin Verlander get paid. You've seen Francisco Lindor get paid. And the Mets aren't having conversations with you about a contract extension.
Wow.
You're going to be out. You're gone. If I had to bet money, I'll put money that he'll be a Chicago Cub before being a New York Yankee.
Yeah.
Right? Because like I said, trying to re-sign Juan Soto and signing Pete Alonso to a big-time contract, at least $250 million, I don't think that's reality. I don't think there's a world where that could happen. But I could see him being a Chicago Cub. I could see him not wanting to have conversations with the Mets organization because everybody else got paid and he's sitting back with his hands on his ass.
Right. Yeah. And, you know, if he came here, how about we do, you know, a page, take a page out of the Dodgers book and have him defer money. Hey, well, but Soto's the priority. We got to sign
Soto's
Soto.
the priority. Yes.
We got to sign Soto. And then after that, if we want to manipulate and you know, defer some money. Hey, Soto, you want to take $2 million a year like Ohtani, and we'll pay you, you know, 500-600, you know, in 10 years, 12 years, whatever. Hey, if the Dodgers can do it, why can't we? I mean, why not? Right?
Yeah.
They're trying to buy a championship, and we're always blamed as Yankee fans. We're always blamed that we're trying to buy a championship. So we got the money. Let's go for it. Why not?
Yeah, and Brad Jewish also said Salakala is a moron, though. He said last year that Pete Alonso was a clubhouse cancer. Listen, when it comes to Sal and a lot of the guys over there at WFAN, a lot of them have a lot of sources when it comes to the Mets and inside the Mets clubhouse. Salakala, he was a beat writer covering the Mets for years. He works with SNY. He used to be, and when he used to produce for Mike and the Mad Dog, he used to be in the clubhouse as a reporter. When it comes to covering the Mets, right? So he has a lot of inside sources with the Mets. He was the one who brought it up last year that the Mets should trade Pete Alonso because of the clubhouse cancer that he is, right? And he's a Met fan at the end of the day. So, you know, I think it pains him more than anything to bring it up because he is a Met fan. He wants the Mets to win. So when it comes to Salakada, I trust sources that he brings up. Sal is also a solid baseball mind on top of that. But my guy, original Yankee fan, 1950, he said this on Twitter. I just want to make this clear. I'm not a Mets fan, and I never have been. If I were a Mets fan, I would have to ask myself, if I'm Pete Alonso, do I even want to remain with the Mets once I become a free agent? And that's exactly what I said. He hit his spot on the head, TC, because like I said, Pete Alonso's seen all these other guys get paid. And he's just sitting back, hoping that arbitration is going to give him the money that the Mets should have been giving him a couple of seasons ago. I got two super chats I want to bring up. My guy Acevedo with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Acevedo. $25 million from an ugly patch, $10 million from the Marlins. Put it to good use. Snell and Bieber, or trade for Burns, offer him 8 years, $250, and he will stay. Acevedo, he right. $25 million from that patch when it comes to Star Insurance. Then you got the extra $10 million that the Marlins are paying. The Yankees ain't paying jack when it comes to Stanton and his contract. We'll talk about Giancarlo Stanton later on. L.I. Yankee King with a $5 super chat. Yankee fans, just because shiny toy is out there doesn't mean you always get the shiny toy, because it doesn't make sense like Alonso. L.I. Yankee King, appreciate you for your comments, my guy.
L.I. wants all our rookies to play, so you know, yeah, I get it.
L.I. wants to trade DJ LeMahieu. That's what it is. That's all he's worried on. He's trying to get Joe McMahon from the Colorado Rockies. That's all he's trying to do. But no, when it comes down to it, like you said, TC, Juan Soto is the priority. If I was a betting person, I would put money on the fact that Pete Alonso, I could see him with the Cubs. And talking about the Cubs, let's have this conversation. Imanaga signed with the Chicago Cubs, bro. Did you see that?
I
And
did.
for the money, he said $30 million for 2 years, $15 million a season.
That's more like it. That's I mean that's where I see the contracts going. That should be. I mean that's fair. Not 35 or 40 for a guy who hasn't even pitched in the majors. I mean, they lucked out. I mean they'll get to see him for 2 years and see how he does. Why didn't the Yankees do that? I would have done that for 2 years, 15 mil. They're not going to find a guy for 15 mil. I mean, he'd be your fifth starter. Where are we going to get a fifth starter for 15 mil? Stroman's going to want 21, like you said, 20, 21, 22 mil.
And the National League and the NL Central, I think Imanaga will be able to pitch, right? He is a fly ball pitcher, 90 to 91 miles per hour, a finesse guy. He's not as talented as Yamamoto or any of these other guys that came over. He's definitely better than Kei Agawa. I'll tell you that right now. But when it comes to Imanaga, I think his style of pitching would translate better in the NL Central than it would in the American League East. Jose Medina, Imanaga's 4 years, 53. It's 2 years, 30 million with the other two as options. So the total contract is 4 years, 53 million. The first two are guaranteed. It is a club option for the last 2 years, Jose Medina. And I think one of those years is a team option and the other one is a player option. So the third year is a team option and that fourth year is a player option. So he can opt out of it and go back into free agency. Yeah, like Acevedo says, 4 years, 56 million options. They added 2 years on the third year and turn it as a 5-year deal, 80 million. Yeah, right there. But yeah, like I said, Imanaga, I don't think he would have translated perfectly to the Bronx. I don't think he would have translated good to the American League. He's a fly ball pitcher, and fly ball pitchers, they don't work well in Yankee Stadium, right? So the Yankees passed on him. I have some stats when it comes to both Marcus Stroman and Blake Snell real quick. My guy Ruben sent them to me. Shout out to my guy NYY News Ruben. Because one thing that's alarming for both Snell and for Stroman, when it comes to Marcus Stroman in Yankee Stadium, in 11 starts, 4.5 innings pitched per start. That's what he's averaging per start at Yankee Stadium. Marcus Stroman has a 6.06 ERA. That right there alone, the Yankees are big into analytics. They're big into numbers. That right there should be the first bullet point when sitting down having conversations with Marcus Stroman and whoever his representation is. 6.06 ERA and 11 starts. You're averaging 4.5 innings per start. I think right there, Yankees should stay away from that. When it comes to Blake Snell, it's another one. Blake Snell in Yankee Stadium, 12 starts, one more start than Marcus Stroman. Blake Snell was pitching to a 5.77 ERA in Yankee Stadium. Do we want to give that $30 million a season? Go ahead, TC.
But think that's against the Yankees. He won't be pitching against the Yankees. So he'll be pitching against opponents in Yankee Stadium. So yeah. I mean, I know the Yankees offense hasn't been the greatest as last couple years, but still, I mean, they put up numbers and pitching's thin, and it's going to take some creativity to get somebody in here. But I think when it comes down to it, the easy way out is to just sign Blake Snell. You don't have to trade anybody. You get a guy. Especially if it's 4 years or less, that's like a dream scenario.
Yeah.
But if it's 6, 7 years, yeah, I think we're gonna have to pass on that. But it's rough. I mean, the pitching market is so high, and their numbers aren't reflecting what they're getting. That's the problem.
It's very it's a very thin pitching market. It's a very thin pitching market, and you got to ask yourself. And shout out to both Dr. Hitskins and Mark Teamaker in the chat, because I want to bring up both of their chats right now. First, Mark Teamaker, when it comes to Blake Snell, He just won the Cy Young. So you got to ask yourself, would you rather gamble on the wild card in Marcus Stroman, who has a high ERA in Yankee Stadium, or would you rather take the gamble on the guy who just won the Cy Young in the National League, who also has a high ERA in Yankee Stadium? Both of them are free agents. You don't have to give up prospects for either one of them. It's all about the money. If Blake Snell is demanding $30 million or $35 million a season, if you're willing to offer Marcus Stroman $21 million, if you're willing to offer him $21 million, what is going to stop you, or what logic is going to stop you giving Blake Snell an extra $15 million? That's all. That's all I want to know, TC. Is that a fair question to ask the front office if you're the fans?
Very fair. Just like you brought up with the Donaldson. That didn't make any sense. You went and gave $10 more million to Carlos Correa. It's the same thing. You're gonna blow $21 million on Marcus Stroman when you could have just gave him $10 more million and had Blake Snell, a Cy Young. I understand he has 2 Cy Youngs, and those are the 2 best years he's had in the last 6-7 years. And we need a workhorse. We need someone to be right behind Blake Snell, Garrett Cole, and give us innings. But as we've been listening to other content creators like Pete, he's only going over 180 innings twice in the last 7-8 years. I mean, that's not good. That's not good. But as thin as the market is, we have to roll the dice and take a gamble. We have to take a gamble on a guy like that.
Who would you rather take the gamble on, Marcus Stroman or Blake Snell, knowing that it's just going to cost you money when it comes to the both of them? Who would you rather take the gamble on, TC? Folks in the chat, let me know, who would you rather take the gamble on? Blake Snell all day for you?
Yes.
For me, I would have to say Blake Snell also, just like Mark T. Maker. And what makes me fall back and say I'm good with Blake Snell in the gamble, if we keep the prospects, right? Say hypothetically, Blake Snell turns into Carlos Rodon this season, right? He has an ERA over 4.5 ERA. We're at the trade deadline. Blake Snell has a 4.50 ERA. We still have our prospects to go out there and trade. Corbin Burns may be available at the trade deadline, and he will be a hell of a lot cheaper for half of a season. So if you were to trade your prospects right now for Dylan Cease or Jesus Luzardo, if they don't work out and they have a 4.50 ERA and we're at the trade deadline, you don't have that many prospects left over after trading for those two or one of them to make a deal. But if you use your money to sign Blake Snell, if he doesn't work out and we at the trade deadline, at least you still have Spencer Jones to go out there if you're desperate to go get a Corbin Burns. At least you still have some of your top 10 prospects who are top 100 prospects in Major League Baseball to go out there and make a trade, right? So you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot too early when it comes to these trade negotiations. Use your number one asset, which is your money. Use your money. Sign Blake Snell. If you have to raise the prices on chicken tendies by $5, fuck it. I'll pay the $5 extra for the chicken tendies and hold your prospects for the trade deadline if a scenario presents itself where you have to become desperate and make a trade at the trade deadline. Use your number one asset, which is your money. Stop being cheap. If you're willing to give Marcus Stroman $20 million, what is the logic behind stopping at $20 million and not offering Blake Snell an extra $10 to $15 million?
Yeah, no, I totally agree, Hector. I mean, you bring up good points, and I hope Cashman's listening, because that's the business move. That's what you do. You can't go and give up all your prospects and then have no prospects at the trade deadline to fix what, because everybody is still a question mark. Garrett Cole is the only real deal on this team. And heaven forbid he goes down. What do? You got nothing. So that's the business mood. You use your money now, save your prospects later. Like you said, the price will come down at the trade deadline. We don't know about our other guys. Glaber might be available at the trade deadline. I mean, other players too. So you don't know. You don't know. Save that for later. Use your money now. Smart move, Hector.
Mm-hmm.
Take over for Cashman. Why don't you? Let's
Oh,
go.
I don't want that job. I don't want that job. You kidding me? I don't want Yankee fans coming at my neck on social media. The poll is out there. If
I'll
you
hold
guys
back.
can vote for the poll, Pete Alonso to the Yankees. Is it fake news? Is it a yes? Or is it a hey? It could happen. We got 63% saying it's fake news. So Salicata, you are a liar. It's fake news. 8% saying yes, and 29% saying, hey, it could happen. Joe Man says Snell is 2 years younger than Cole. Cole, 4 years ago, signed a contract making $37 million a year. Snell is getting at least $37 million a year for 5 years. It's 2024, not 2020.
Yep.
Listen, Joe. If that's, first of all, I always got to highlight Joe's profile pic. I love that New York Highlanders profile pic. I love that. But if that's what Snell is going to get, $37 million, sign me up. Sign me up.
4 years.
I'd rather give Blake Snell $37 million a season than give Marcus Stroman $20 to $21 million just for one season. If you were to ask me, sign me up, Joe, man. Appreciate you in the chat. Let's see who else we got in the building. My guy Sherwin's in the building. Yankees have 4 prospects in the top 100. Actually, the Yankees have 7 prospects in the top 100. Well, 6. They lost Drew Thorpe, so they have 6 prospects in the top 100. If I'm not mistaken, Sherwin. And let's switch it up now. Now that we've talked about this, and this is a perfect segue. Appreciate you, Sherwin, for bringing that up, because we got to talk about this that came out yesterday on Twitter when it comes to the Yankees front office, and when it comes to the Yankees international signing, and when it comes to the Yankees drafting and prospect development over the last few years. The Yankees got awarded, or they were voted by Baseball Writers in America, of having the #1 international signing. They use the international market best in all of Major League Baseball. My guy Joe Randazzo put it out there. The Yankees use the international market better than any other team. This is according to a survey given to other executives around Major League Baseball. Okay. The Yankees receive votes. This is from my guy Rick12 on Twitter. The Yankees receive votes from executives for the best farm system and using the draft the best. They were voted #1 in using international free agent market the best, but they have no farm and the development program sucks, according to the Twitter experts. Now, this poll is based on the last 3 years. So over the last 3 years, according to executives around Major League Baseball, the Yankees, they're voted as #1 when it comes to the international market and as having one of the best farm systems in baseball. What's your thoughts about that, TC, before we switch things up?
Yeah, I mean, over the years, I've seen that they've made some great international signings, but all we got to show for it right now is Jason Dominguez. So, and as far as the farm system goes, we all know that they're overhyped. They overhype all our prospects, and to be honest, the majority don't work out, and there's a problem. So, I mean, this guy Rick, he ain't wrong. I mean, something needs to change their development. But I know over the last 2-3 years, I mean, listening to Dane Huber, on Pete's show, I mean, he talks about highly about the pitching prospects that a lot of guys are coming up. That the Hamptons, the Beaters, the Warrens, there's even some other guys I can't remember. And even some of the young talent in offensively, Roderick Arias and Lombard, and we're hearing these names over and over. So I think within the last 2-3 years, the farm system has gotten a lot better. As in 2021, 2020, I mean, some of the prospects that were listed as top 10, top 5 they didn't pan out, or they're gone. I mean, you can look at the Gary Sanchez's, the Devi Garcias, the Greg
I'm with
Bird.
you on that.
I mean, Clinton Frazier, Miguel Andujar. I mean, these guys have just not worked out. So
go ahead. I have a little bit of a pushback, right? Because I agree with everything you said about those prospects. But yes, the Yankees hype up their prospects, right? And to be fair, some of us as fans, we hype up the prospects, right? But this survey was executives all around Major League Baseball. They didn't survey the Yankees. They didn't survey the Yankee fan base. These were other teams, other executives saying that the Yankees use the international market best, especially over the last 3 years. That the Yankees have drafted and developed and have one of the best farm systems. These were other MLB executives that have been reporting on this or have done the survey, right? And to your point, you brought up Roger Arias. That's who's in the picture right there, Roger Arias, right? So over the past 3 years, I can say that the Yankees, they've been able to revamp their farm system. When we traded for Frankie Montas, and when we traded for Efros with the Cubs, the first thing people say is the Yankees, we gave up too much pitching, right? We gave up so much pitching. What did the Yankees do? We drafted Drew Thorpe, right? We drafted Chase Hampton, who became a top 100 prospect, both of them. Drew Thorpe was the minor league pitcher of the year. So the Yankees development system, the Yankees scouting, seems like that they can do what they have to do when it comes to developing young players right now. We were able to trade Michael King and some of our young guys for Juan Soto. So something seems like it's right when it comes to the Yankees front office. My guy Patrick Frank's in the building. Just over an hour until teams have to send in the ARB and pre-arbitration figures. We could see some signings today, fellas. Oh, Patrick, I hope so. Because coming up with topics sometimes is I'm pulling stuff out my ass, Patrick. I appreciate you in the chat. Appreciate all of you guys in the building. But my guy, Dr. Hiskins, also said, maybe, Hector, you can start a GoFundMe for Blake Snell. Listen, you know what? If Yankee fans want to start crowdsourcing money for the Yankees to sign players, sign me up. My guys, Frit Magic says, great show, guys. Appreciate you, Fritz, in the building. I want to take a pause real quick. We got 102 people in the building. If you guys can, smack that like button. And we are sitting on 2,778 subscribers. We are 22 away from 2,800. So if you're watching us, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button for your boys. But I want to bring up another topic because this is something that the Yankees, they announced yesterday when it comes to the coaching staff. So let's just go over the new coaching staff for Aaron Boone in 2024. This would be just like not that much. Obviously, the manager is Aaron Boone. The bench coach is Brad Ausmus. Pitching coach Matt Blake. Bullpen coach is Mike Harkey. Assistant pitching coach Desi Druskel. Hitting coach is James Rosan. Assistant hitting coach is Casey Dykes and Pat Rosler. Luis Rojas is coming back as a third base coach. Travis Chapman is the first base and the infield coach. And the Major League field coordinator is Tanner Swanson. For me, I think the big standout on this list is Brad Ausmus. I think Brad Ausmus is the right voice, former Yankee prospect as well. Yankees used him in the trade in the 90s. But I think Brad Ausmus, he's the perfect bench coach to have next to Aaron Boone. And I think he'll light the fire on the Aaron Boone's ass as well. What's your thoughts on this real quick before we switch gears and switch up to our next topic?
Yeah, no, great point. Brad Ausmus he was a former manager and a former catcher. And you know how former catchers, make good managers and make good, assistant, bench coach. So, I think he's going to be a great fit here. Being Aaron Boone's heir, no, I don't think you should do that. Don't take out your pitchers so early, or he's got to be the voice of reason to help him out. And then I also noticed that Pat Rustler, he was a former hitting coach for Juan Soto. That was brought up. So he stays on. I think he's been in the Yankee organization for a while too. So he now is an assistant hitting coach. So not a lot of sexy names, but that's okay. I mean, we don't need that as coaches. We'd rather see what we have on the field and produce. But we'll see how it goes. And Matt Blake remains a pitching coach, and he's done wonders. And one thing we haven't brought up is the bullpen. So I don't know. I mean, do you think they're in the market for helping out that bullpen as well?
Oh man. Listen, when it comes to Matt Blake and when it comes to the Yankees bullpen, right? We can say this over the past several years. The Yankees, they've done a good job when it comes to, especially Matt Blake, finding the diamonds in the rough and just coming up with random relievers that actually pan out to be good. Ian Hamilton, another perfect example. Kenyon Middleton. I think most likely he
still
will
out
be
there.
back. I think most likely he will be back. I know he was
Clay Holmes.
teasing that he wants to come back. Clay Holmes is another piece as well. Johnny Lasagna as well. Who's the kid?
Wandy Peralta.
Wandy Peralta as well. I was just
Yeah.
trying to, his name just skipped me. It seems like the Mets are trying to sign Wandy Peralta. The Mets are just trying to sign every former Yankee that is out there. I'm gonna just put this out there. If you're a Met fan, it's my guy Keith McPherson brought it up. It's Yankee Mets. It's not the Mets anymore. They are the Yankee Mets because you got Mendoza over there as the manager. You got Luis Severino over there as well. They may be trying to get Gio Urshela. They got Harrison Bader in center field. So it's the Yankee Mets, the Yankees versus the Yankee Mets this season. I want to bring up the last topic before we throw it into the open panel. And we'll have the open panel rocking to about like 12:30, 12:45, maybe the latest. But we talked about it earlier. Yankee spring training is around the corner. Pitchers and catchers, they report to spring training on the 14th on Valentine's Day, according to my guy Brian Coach, and according to my friends over at the Yankees Network on Twitter, per Andy Martino. The Yankees are expected to make one impactful acquisition for the pitching rotation before spring training starts. It seems both Blake Snell and the Yankees have grown the same mutual interest in each other. And this tweet was from last night. When it comes to spring training, when it comes to pitchers and catchers, Blake Snell, he looks good in a Yankee uniform, TC. I can't lie. He does look, that is a great Photoshop job. Perfect. He looks good in a Yankee uniform.
Yeah.
When pitchers and catchers report to spring training, is Blake Snell going to be one of those guys that are going to be in spring training with the Yankees or be down there in Tampa February 14th to the 20th? What's your thoughts?
I really hope so. I really do. Because I mean, I know a lot of people think we need two pitchers, but honestly, I think we might be okay with one, especially if it's Blake Snell. If it's Cole, Snell, Rodon, we're expecting a bounce back. And then, excuse me, say Nestor and Clark Schmidt to round it out. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with three workhorses at the top. I mean, he looks great in that uniform. You know, his best buddy is Aaron Judge. I mean, he's going to be right there behind Cole. I mean, it just makes for a good scenario. And, you know, if the numbers work out and, you know, we can still, you know, save some money and sign Soto in the offseason, I think it's a perfect fit. So, yeah, I hope so.
This is just came out. Shout out to Pete who reported this on Twitter. According to John Morosi, the Yankees and the Astros have shown interest in right-handed free agent reliever Jordan Hicks.
Okay.
So it's come down to the Yankees and the Astros for Jordan Hicks. What's your thoughts on that, real quick?
Yeah, he definitely would help out this bullpen, especially, you know, in that back end, because, you know, we're not all sold on Clay Holmes as a closer. And if you can have Holmes set up to a Jordan Hicks, wow. I mean, he throws 100 miles an hour. I mean, that's the type of closer you need. So that would be great. I'd like Snell and Hicks. I don't think we just, you know, like I've been saying, we got to go all in. This is a championship era run. We have to go all in. You know, getting Soto indicates this is a year that we have to go for it. So
you can't stop at Juan Soto, because if you stop at Juan Soto, Michael Caputo will lose his goddamn mind. But Caputo in the chat said you traded for Soto to win the World Series in 2024. This year, not years from now. This year. And this year mainly. So why trade for Soto and not get top pitching? They need another dominant number two behind Garrett Cole. Listen, Michael Caputo, a broken clock is right two times a day. And Caputo is right on this one. I'm not disagreeing with Caputo. If you go out there, if you're willing to trade some top prospects, if you're willing to trade Michael King, who's supposed to be a big part of your starting rotation in 2024 and going forward, if you're willing to make those moves, why are you not willing to go out there and sign a Blake Snell? Why are you not willing to go out there, hold your hand, say you're sorry to Jordan Montgomery, and bring Jordan Montgomery back to the Bronx? You can't just stop. The Juan Soto thing, it's over. I think as fans, we got excited about it. The hype is down. There ain't no more hype about Juan Soto. We got other holes to fill in this lineup and this roster. We need another starting pitcher to go behind Garrett Cole. We may need another starting pitcher to be the 5th starter in this rotation. We may need another reliever as well. So we still have some holes on this roster.
Yeah. But quick point before we move on to the open panel. If we don't improve our pitching, why would Juan Soto want to stay with this team? If he sees that if he sees that we have an offense and no pitching, he's like, this team doesn't want to win. So
there you go.
What good is that? Yeah.
You said it perfectly. You said it perfectly. If your whole thing was you traded for Juan Soto because you wanted to convince him to stay with the Yankees, if you don't go out there and refortify your starting rotation, why would he want to stay here? You're not convincing him to stay here. If the only acquisition is Juan Soto, how are you convincing him to stay with the Yankees?
No,
how are you convincing him to stay with the Yankees?
No, there's no way. Especially if we do like a Stroman or some other, has been. No, he ain't staying. No, he's like, this team isn't. They're not meant to win. They don't want to try. They're not going for it. Why would I stay here?
And like Caputo says, don't go out there trying to convince the fan base that Marcus Stroman is a World Series move. Hell no, it's not. Signing Marcus Stroman doesn't automatically make you the favorites in Vegas to win the World Series. It definitely don't.
He's a trade deadline piece. That's if someone's injured, I'm bringing in a Marcus Stroman. That's the only way.
He's insurance. That's all Marcus Stroman will be. He would be insurance, right? He would just be there just to eat innings. Point blank period. We got 62 likes. We got over 100 people in the building. Folks, let's get to 100 likes on the stream. Smack that like button and hit the subscribe button as well. We are sitting at 2779. Let's try to get to 2,800 for before the stream is over. My guy L.I. Yankee King with the $4.99 super chat. They aren't interested in Snell because Snell has a qualifying offer, which means we have to give up international money, and which means we risk missing out on Roki Sasaki. I think Roki's going to go to the Dodgers no matter what. But when it comes to the international signing money, that may be a reason why the Yankees, they don't sign Blake Snell. Because like I brought it up, the Yankees, we can't get the top pick in the draft, so we won't get Jackson Holiday, right? So the way that the Yankees are going and approaching things is by taking advantage and using the international market. And if they sign Blake Snell, they'll lose some of that international signing money. So that may be a reason why they fall back from Blake Snell. But if it's up to me, listen, sign Blake Snell, lose that money, point blank, period. Shout out to my guy, Rod Thompson in the building. Que lo que, my guy. Hurry up and sign Snell ASAP. I definitely agree with you, Rod. I got one more clip that I want to play, and this was from Luis Severino, former Yankee. He's with the Mets now. They had a press conference yesterday. I want to play his video and his words on his time with the New York Yankees. So bear with me as I pull this up. We will watch this, and we'll jump back and give Sevi our final words before we jump into the open panel. But Luis Severino yesterday, this was his thoughts. This was on SNY.
I mean, for me, I was not imagining even going to any team. I was gonna die a Yankee. But when everything came down free agency, I was looking for something that kept me the same. Like I said before, same pressure, same kind of fuel that can get me going when I'm the mound, when I have a bad outing. They will let me know, and I need that. I need that in my life. I need people that tell me the truth when I'm not doing good. So that can get me to the bullpen or anywhere that I can go to, to get me better. And I think this is a place. And when I saw what they bring to the table and the team that they have, that they want to win, people that compete, that got me even more to go into that team. I mean, for me,
when he said he thought he was going to die a Yankee, when Luis Severino was first signed by the Yankees, when the hype was building up, we thought this dude was going to be our Cy Young winner, our franchise pitcher.
The next Pedro.
For the next 15 years. That's what we thought with Luis Severino for the next 10 years. I wish Luis Severino the best in Queens. If you ask me, who would I rather have, Luis Severino or Marcus Stroman in my starting rotation? I'm taking Luis Severino every day of the week. Listen, it's a sad story, right? He had that Tommy John surgery and was never able to fully recover after that. But it was weird hearing that he said he wanted to have people tell him when he was bad. Is that at the Yankees, do you think, TC?
I'm sorry, you cut out. Do you think what?
When he said that he wanted to be around people that told him when he was bad and told him the truth. Do you think there was a little bit of shade towards the New York Yankees? What's your thoughts on that, TC? And folks in the chat, smack that like button.
Yeah, I think you make a great point, because I mean, also to the medical staff as well. I mean, that's a hit at them. You know, I mean, he could have been telling them, "Hey, I'm not fully healthy," and "Oh no, you're fine, you clear, you're good, you're this and that." So I don't know. I mean, he's got to throw a little shade, because honestly, I don't know that he didn't perform. I mean, it is a sad story. NFE brings it up. It is sad, because he had so much promise. I mean, we've seen years where he just looked like lights out Cy Young Award winner. Next day, you know, getting lit up all over the stadium. So especially last season, I mean, his ERA was over 6. So it was sad, because he's not that guy. He's not that guy. I know he has lights out stuff. I mean, he's got wipeout slider. I mean, the fastball is jumping all over. I mean, it's just too bad. The injuries just got him. Too many injuries. And again, like I said, it might have something to do with the medical staff. They just don't treat these guys properly. And but he does look good with that beard. I like that beard though. That looks sharp. I don't know. You should maybe think about that.
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna do the bottom part right here, but no, the beard is very sharp on Luis Severino. You know, anytime someone played for the Yankee for some years, the first thing they do is grow out the beard. Let's see how Kyle Higashioka looks in spring training with his beard with the San Diego Padres. But my guy Josh Dowling, thank you for helping us keep on the lights with the 199 super chat.
Thank you.
Won't pay Yama more than Cole. Won't pay Soto more than Judge. I spoke about this yesterday, Josh. Appreciate you for the 199. The whole Yamamoto thing with Garrett Cole, I'm gonna just say it one more time, and this is my last take on it. I think it's utter bullshit, BS. I'm sorry for cursing that much. I think it's utter BS when it comes to this talking point that the Yankees didn't want to give Yamamoto more money than Garrett Cole. Listen, if Garrett Cole opts out of his contract, right, after this season, the Yankees, they just have to pick up that last year, that 10th year, and his contract's at $360 million. That's more than Yamamoto. That's more than Yamamoto. Gotta leave my brother Kevin Smith alone. Absolutely. Call me the young Kevin Smith in his prime. Thank you so much. Truth always. Shout out to you. Rara says Soto. Absolutely. I'm gonna put the link for the open panel in the chat. You guys are more than welcome to join the open panel. We're gonna keep it rocking till about like 12:30 for the open panel. When it comes to the open panel, for those of you guys who are new to the channel, you guys are more than welcome to come up, have the conversation. But always remember, let's be polite, let's be nice, let's follow the terms and services for YouTube, for Twitter, and for Facebook. If somebody is in the middle of giving a take, allow them to finish, because the same time would be given to you. Appreciate you guys. Like always, smack that like button. Let's get the stream to up to 100 likes. Right now, I think we're sitting on 70 likes at the moment. We got 71 likes with 119 people in the building. Guys, smack that like button. And if you want to come up to let us know how you feel about the Yankees, come on up to the open panel. I'm going to bring my guy Jonathan up first. Jonathan, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know if you're ready to join the open panel. Jonathan's ready to go. Hold on one second. Let me move this up. Jonathan, how are you feeling, my guy?
I'm feeling well. I've been listening. I mean, in regard to Severino, I think he just didn't pitch well the last couple of years. I really don't know how he went from a potential Cy Young winner to a 6 ERA so quickly. But I think it had to do with Severino may have been the beginning to what we saw last year with all the players getting hurt and ignoring medical advice. That is just my prediction of how he felt.
He wasn't right.
No, I think, like TC said, he wasn't right. But to me, I think Luis Severino, he tried to rush back coming back from Tommy John surgery, and that rushing back led to other injuries that he tried to rush back from the other injuries, and he didn't fully recover from his injuries. And it's a sad story when it comes to Luis Severino. But Jonathan, how are you feeling about Marcus Stroman? What's your thoughts? Are you one of those Yankee fans that don't want Stroman on the team?
About Stroman because I mean, I honestly, I don't know if I want him, but if I do, if they get him, I would hope it for a 1-year deal. I don't want him long term on the Yankees.
Oh yeah, definitely
only a 1-year deal. But honestly, I think he might cause a little bit too much trouble.
Hold on, just got some breaking news. It's not baseball related. It's not baseball related. For all you NFL fans, I'm not sure if you guys heard this or if I'm late.
Belichick?
Bill Belichick, he is gone from the New England Patriots as of today, as of this morning. I just got the notification on my phone right now. So again, it's not baseball related, but it is sports related. And Bill Belichick, he has been with the Patriots ever since I was in junior high school. So, you know.
And he was with the Giants beforehand. He was under Bill Parcells.
Yeah. And so like I apologize. I just got the notification on my phone. I do apologize. Sorry about that, Richie Rivera. But I want to bring up someone else to the conversation when it comes to the open panel. Damien, let me know if you're ready. Let me get a thumbs up. And for those of you guys that are in the back, I'm gonna bring you guys up as you guys showed up backstage. So I'm gonna bring up Damien. Then I'm going to bring up Michael Caputo, and then I'm going to bring up L.I. Yankee King to the conversation before we wrap things up. But my brother, Damian Serrano, happy New Year's to you, my guy. Haven't been on a panel with you in a minute. Hope the family's well. Hope you're doing good, my brother. How you feeling?
I'm good. Hope all is well. Happy New Year, everybody. Hector, TC, Jonathan, everybody in the chat. Hope everybody had a good New Year. A fruitful 2024. Hopefully it's better than 23. So
facts.
Yeah.
Facts. How you feeling about the conversation? I know you was in the chat saying the Yankees must be super desperate if we're talking about Marcus Stroman. How are you feeling about that, Damien? And with what L.I. Yankee King brought up about the Yankees not wanting to lose international signing money with Blake Snell, where are you at right now, bro? It's on you.
Stroman, man, that's a deep pill to swallow. Not only because of his past, between us and Yankee Twitter and fans and castmen, so on and so forth, calling K racist basically, but just his age, his stature, he doesn't put in a full season any year that I can even recall. Granted, last year he was probably top 3 on the way to a NL Cy Young until he got hurt. But obviously there was a breakdown there with the rib injury and whatnot.
Yeah.
I guess if that was the last resort, sure. Not sold on it. I would love Snell, even though, again, that's another slippery slope because we're taking a huge risk and giving out another big contract. And hopefully Rodon bounces back. But, we can have 2 Rodon contracts and 2 separate pitchers. And that obviously scares the hell out of me. I would rather go to the signing route, to be honest. I don't want to trade anybody. For those people out there that constantly just want to trade our top prospects, this has been the first time in a long time the Yankees have an actual farm system. And the one thing I'll say to anybody, when I bring up these names, tell me what they have in common, right? Posada, Jeter, Williams, Pettit, Rivera. What do all those guys have in common besides being a world champion? What do those guys have in common?
Homegrown talent, baby.
Homegrown talent, which is the last time we had a dynasty. So for all
Bingo.
those people are like, hey, let's just trade away the farm to get these other players who are also question marks, like Luzardo, who has an injury past, who has an injury history, hasn't pitched 200 innings ever in his career.
Nope.
For those people out there that want to do that, you know, careful what you ask for, because the Yankees actually have a farm system, and now we have an opportunity to utilize that and put ourselves back in a situation where we have homegrown talent and we bring in people to fill that talent, to fill the rest of the gaps. Because at the end of the day, we fall into this situation now because of Cashman. Because Cashman got away from drafting well, so we constantly brought in the Giambis. We brought in all these other players, and we got nothing out of it. Not one chip. Not one. So,
and
you know, caution, travel caution is all I gotta say.
Yeah, and to your point, Damien, you know, and I'll let the other guys chime in. In the mid 2000s, right, when we shied away from drafting and development, and we went solely by just buying the biggest free agent contract that was out there available. The only Yankee prospects that emerged in the 2000s: Melky Cabrera, Robinson Cano, Ching-Ming Wong, and Andy fucking Phillips.
Exactly.
Those are the only Yankee prospects in the 2000s. And Brett Gardner came towards the end of the 2000s and towards the 2010s. No. I'm talking about the early. I'm talking about
early
2000 to 2010. That's what I'm talking about, right? When we signed Jason Giambi, like Damien brought up, right? Because that's when we shied away from drafting properly and development properly. That's when we decided to sign every big time free agent in that time span. Right.
Exactly.
But like I said, the only prospects that emerged in that era was Melky Cabrera, Robinson Cano, Ching-Ming Wong, Andy Bleeping Phillips, and Brett Gardner towards the end of it. My guy Rod Thompson with the $9.99 super chat. Appreciate you helping us to keep the lights on. Yankees can't penny pitch or pitching. They have to get Snell. Yankees don't have a great history of developing starting pitching. That is absolute fact. Just look at the history with starting pitching. Even when it comes to, you know, Andy Pettitte, you know, some may argue that, yeah, he won 20 games once in his career, but he was never a real number one. He was a solid number two and a great number three, but never really a real number one pitcher in a starting rotation. I got a few chats that I want to bring up. Some people saying, now I like what I'm hearing. Good take, Damien. Absolutely. My guy Damien spitting all facts, no fax machine. Desiree Conrad says, hey, Medina, how you doing? Shout out to Desiree Conrad. Appreciate her. But I think Christopher Alonso in the chat. So wait, are you thinking the Yankees are going to pay to keep Soto and pay Alonso? Fake news. No, absolutely not. I said it earlier. I don't think there's a reality where the Yankees re-sign Juan Soto and then sign Pete Alonso. If I'm a betting person, I'm putting money on Pete Alonso going with the Chicago Cubs next year. Jonathan, I want to throw it over to you. Let's get your take on what Damien said before I bring up the next two fellas to join us in the conversation.
Yeah, well, if you take a look at history, the Yankees before really 2006, they didn't have very many great drafts. And basically between 93 and 2005, besides Phil Hughes, did they ever have a number one make the team?
No,
probably not.
No, and I forgot to mention also Phil Hughes, Jabba Chamberlain, and Ian Kennedy. But we all know how those players.
Phil Hughes was in 2004, but in 2005 they had a number 16 pick that they chose Henry, and they missed out. They passed on Ellsbury, Clay Buchholz, and a bunch of other guys in that.
Oh
draft.
yeah.
So, there was a lot of mismanagement in the draft. Even in 2007, they drafted Brackman, and he was nothing. He was a great high school pitcher that was terrible and that was okay in college, and he never did anything. And they drafted him number one, and he was injured when he drafted. That is why I was very hesitant when they drafted Schmidt, because of Brackman. Because their history of drafting injured pitchers is not very good.
No, you're absolutely right. TC, what's your thoughts before we bring up Caputo and LI Yankee King to join us before we get ready to dip out?
Yeah, I mean, Damien he brings up great facts. You know, I mean, that's homegrown talent is the best. I mean, that's those dynasty years, having those guys just come up together is amazing, and I think they're in the process of doing that again. And yeah, I'm not quick to trade all these guys away, especially Spencer Jones. I'm not. And use your money. We've been saying it. Use your money now and save your prospects for the trade deadline if you need it as insurance. But again, you're not going to just quickly trade these guys away, especially last 2-3 years. We've seen an awesome development with these guys, and also a shout out to your chain there, Damien. Everybody's commenting on that.
Thank you.
The Mr.
Oh, my
T.
man, he got the big boy Cuban link on. That's what that is.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
I
No,
appreciate it, fellas.
I agree with you, right? And you know, and to Jonathan's point as well, when the Yankees were drafting in the 2000s, I was super excited when they drafted Dylan Betances because he went to Bushwick High School. He went to the same high school my best friend was at the time, and I used to go to a lot of her games because she played for the basketball team, and they used to hype up Dylan Betances. I remember meeting him. He was a very tall but skinny kid, flaquito like that.
Yeah,
That's how skinny he was when the
He was a
Yankees drafted
twig
him.
back in the day,
He was
man.
a twig back in the day. I remember when they drafted him out of Bushwick High School. So shout out to Dylan Betances. But I'm gonna bring up the next two fellas to join us in the conversation. Caputis, let me get a thumbs up. Let me know you're ready to join us. Right there, Mike. Got my thumbs up for Caputo. L.I. Yankee King. Let me get a thumbs up. Let me know if you're ready. All right, my guy, L.I. Yankee King. Caputi, the floor is yours. I've seen you in the chat talking about Stroman. Let us know how you feel about Marcus Stroman. And when it comes to Blake Snell, I know you want the Yankees to sign him, but it may cost the Yankees some international signing money. What's your thoughts on that, Caputis? And keep it short, sweet, simple. Be nice, no cursing. Okay, we got a foul mouth on you. Go ahead, Caputo.
Okay, the Marcus Stroman move is not a win now move. I don't know what the Yankees are thinking. You traded for Soto to go all in to win this year, the World Series. You don't make a move like Marcus Stroman. The guy's a head case. He's been injured the last 2 years, and he's a subpar pitcher. He's a number 4 starter. We needed a dominant ace after Garrett Cole, not to bring this guy. And why would Juan Soto want to sign back next year when you're showing that you don't want to win? He's not going to want to sign back here when you bring in a guy like Marcus Stroman. I mean, the guy has a resume the size of Al Capone. I mean, he's not a stable guy. I mean, he's going to be toxic in the clubhouse. Do you know he trashed a sink in Toronto before he got traded to the Mets? The guy's he's a nut job, and he's not putting you over the top. We want to win the World Series this season, and this is not a now-win move. I don't know what these Yankee fans are talking about. Not all of them, but there's a handful of fans that think this would be a great move. This guy's not a good pitcher. He's a trash can pitcher. I don't want this guy, and it's going to ruin their chances to win the World Series. And he's not putting you over the top. I say trade for Shane Bieber, Cease, and sign Blake Snell, and that's the way to go. Jordan Hicks is fine. I don't mind Jordan Hicks, even though I prefer Josh Hader. And then the Yankees will have a off season. I don't like Stroman. If Stroman's a Yankee, I'm not watching them this season.
Oh, Caputo. Well, I know when you say that, you actually mean it, because I've seen you last year tune out and not watch the Yankees. But if the Yankees were to sign Blake Snell and Marcus Stroman, would you be able to live with that, or it's no Stroman at all, Caputo?
I don't want Stroman at all on this team.
Copy. Hey, I respect it. Listen, at least Caputo stands on his toes. I've seen a lot of Yankee fans out there doing mental gymnastics on the reasons why they don't want Stroman on the team. At least Caputo stands on his toes, so he stands on business when it comes to that. Got to give you your credit when it comes to that. L.I. Yankee King, the #1 villain in the Yankee universe. I'll throw it over to you, you handsome son of a bitch. You keep it short, keep it clean, and keep it sweet. What's your thoughts, L.I.?
With Blake Snell, you don't sign Blake Snell when he's going to cost you Roki Sasaki, who's miles better than Blake Snell. They're not even in the same class. They're not even on the same level of pitcher. I have to explain this to Yankee fans because apparently nobody listens to Dane. Roki Sasaki is a stud. And the Dodgers, by the way, have no international money because they signed Ohtani. They cost themselves international money. Yankees gave up their top 2 guys in the 2024 class. They're gone. They told them, go get other deals. Hence why you see Dane talking about, I forgot what his name was, that changed his bio from future Yankee to future Oriole. So Roki Sasaki is an ace, an absolute ace.
Mhm.
He could be better than Garrett Cole, who is the AL Cy Young Award winner and the best pitcher in baseball.
Could is the emphasis word on that. Listen, I love Roki just like the next person. I think Roki is a phenomenal pitching prospect. As of right now, he is just a prospect because he hasn't pitched in the major leagues. Could he potentially be better than Garrett Cole? Yeah, he throws 103 miles per hour. I don't think the Yankees are going to. One, I don't think Roki's gonna. I think Roki is gonna wait to get his money. I don't think he's gonna come over next year. I know a lot of people. I know Eli, you brought it up as well, and I respect your take on it. But I don't think Roki is gonna opt out. I don't think Roki's gonna opt out, go through the whole 6-year phase of waiting to get his big time free agent money, or wait because this is what it is. If he comes over next year, he has to wait 6 to 7 years with the whole arbitration before getting paid. Whether right now he could wait 2 years and he'll be able to sign money, or 2 to 3 years before he'll be able to sign a big time contract like Yamamoto signed. So if I'm I know there's rumors. No, I know there's rumors.
Won it over.
I know. Listen, I get it. I know there's rumors and stuff like that. But if I am Roki Sasaki, right, and I'm gonna ask you fellas right now, would you rather wait 3 years to get paid, or would you rather wait 6 to 7 years to get paid? And granted, if he waits 3 years to get paid, he'll still be in his 20s, in his mid 20s. What's your thoughts? TC, I'll ask you, Jonathan, Damian, Michael, and Li, I'll ask you as the last one. Would you rather wait 3 years, TC, or would you rather go through the whole 6 to 7 years arbitration before you get your money? What's your thoughts, TC?
Yeah, a talent like that, yeah, I think I'm waiting because to be here and wait 6 years, that's a long time. So yeah, I'd do the 3,
and that's
you're still getting paid in Japan, right? I mean, you're still.
My fault, TC. That's also, if you come over here and go through the 6 years for arbitration, you're also risking an injury in those 6 years. My fault. Sorry, TC. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait the 3 and come over then, and make Yamamoto make me even more. Make some Ohtani money. Close. Who knows? I mean, what's the pitching market in 3 years if it's the way it's going now? I mean, he might get 50 million a year. I mean, I'm waiting the 3 years. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna wait 6.
Jonathan, same question going your way. If you're Roki and if you're this world type of talent, are you going to wait the 3 years or 6 years for arbitration to get your money?
I'll be waiting the 2 to 3 years instead of 6. I'm not waiting 6 years to make money. If I can opt out and go get here in 2 or 3 years, or maybe I can ask Japan to give me a special waiver and get here in next year. I don't know
if he comes over next year, he's under that age range. He would have to go through the 6, 7 year arbitration process.
26. Yeah, no. Is it 25 or 26?
It's 20. It's 25.
So if I'm Sasaki when I turn 25, I'm asking my team, can you grant me a waiver? I want to sign a major league team. That's what I would do.
Copy.
I want the most money in the shortest amount of time. And at 25 years old, even if someone gives me a 13-year contract like Yamamoto, I'm going to say, I want to opt out when I'm 29. I'll sign this money. And when I'm 29, after 3 years, I have 3 years of major league experience. I can sign another major contract. So instead of having one major contract, I would have 2.
Yeah. Damian, same question going your way, bro. If you're Sasaki, would you do the 3 years or 6 years? What are you thinking, Damian?
Man, I tell you what, there's no guarantee Sasaki is going to come to New York.
Bingo.
You know, if there was a guarantee he's going to come to New York, sure, great. But there's no guarantee of that. If for whatever reason they're turned away from the East Coast, why, I don't know, whatever the case may be. So if there was a guarantee of that, sure, I would probably hold out. But more importantly, you got Burns, who's up in the wings right there waiting, signing just for money. So that's my only setback with Snell, to be honest with everybody, is God forbid Snell's a Rodon, right? God forbid.
Knock on wood.
Then knock on every tree in the freaking forest in the world. All right. So, but God forbid that happens. Then we all know the Yankees print money, but this is not our Georgia's Yankees. If this was our Georgia's Yankees, I say sign Snell now, because no matter what, Burns is going to be in pinstripes next year, no matter what. But this is not our Georgia's Yankees, so there's no guarantee of that. So that's my only setback with Snell is giving him that amount of money and him revert to those middle years between that first and second Cy Young. That's my only worry with Snell. But you know, the Yankees got themselves in a really tough situation. And you know, for once, I don't want to be in Cashman's shoes, because he's got some really big decisions to make. Not only Cashman, but Al. So this is a big off season for them. And honestly, when it comes to Cashman and the Yankees, I don't think there's a right answer for them, because no matter what, you're gonna have half the fan base saying, "What the hell are you doing?" The other half of the fan base is gonna say, "Let's go." So, I mean, that's man, it's a tough one for the Yankees, but we're in a win now situation. At the end of the day, you got to get the arms that are available. If you can sign Snell on a short-term deal, do it. But you know, that's tough. That's a tough call for the Yankees.
Damien, I got people in the chat saying, when is Damien Serrano starting his late night R&B phase? Because Dr. Hiskins says Damien is giving us some smooth jazz vibes. No, I definitely have to echo that. My man is smooth jazz, WBLS, Damien After Dark. No, but I agree with every point you said, especially bringing up the whole Roki is not guaranteed to come here with the Yankees, right? There's no guarantee that Roki wants to come to the Yankees, right? And like Mark Teammaker said, we've lost out on players from Japan because of the West Coast, right? This is not when Hideki Matsui signed with the Yankees, where the Yankees in New York City was the #1 market in all of sports. In 2024, you could be in OKC making $200-300 million on the court and off the court, right? So in 2024, with all this technology that's out there, I don't think New York City has that attraction that it once had back in the day, because all eyes was on New York City. Now, with all the technology, it's all even, it's all separate. The West Coast is the new market for the Japanese players. If you're coming from Japan and you want to go back and forth from the States to Japan, it's just easier to do it from California. That's why we're losing out on these players. If you're coming over and you have a chance to fly back, you rather fly back on a 10 to 12 hour flight instead of a 24-hour flight. I know I would. I just flew into New York City yesterday and I was miserable for 2.5 hours. So if I had to choose 10 hours or 22 hours, I'm choosing the 10 hours.
By the way, Hector, next time you're in Tampa, come hit me up. I'm here.
Oh, I didn't know you was in Tampa, my guy. Oh, my man. I didn't know you was in Tampa, bro. I'm definitely going to hit you up. I'm going to be out there in March for spring training. Oh, that's how real it is. My man, Damien, that's how excited he got.
Yo, listen, guys, I got to go. My customer's ready. Appreciate Tom, Hector, everybody, TC, Jonathan, Mr. the Mad Rapper Caputo, L.I. Yankee. Yo, Hector, Morning Brew, late night. What's up? All right, guys. I'll talk to y'all later. All right, y'all.
Later, Damien. Shout out to my guy, Damien. And also, for those of you guys that, if any of you guys are going to be around spring training when it comes to the Yankees, I plan on being down there for basically the entire month of March. So if there's anybody in the chat, if there's anybody in the community that's going to be around Yankee spring training, hit me up. Let me know. Let's link up. Let's go watch some spring training games. Let's have ourselves a time. And we are 14 likes away from 100, and we got 110 people in the building. If you guys can, smack that like button. For those of you guys that are watching and haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Caputos, I'm going to throw it over to you. If you're Roki, you waiting 3 years or you waiting to 6 to 7 years to go through arbitration to get your money? What's your thoughts?
Oh, it's very simple. I'm going to make it short and brief. He's not coming to the Yankees. He's going to the Dodgers. He's going to join Yamamoto and Ohtani. and they're going to form Team Japan. And I just would stay away from Japanese players from here on out because they don't want to be here. They just don't want to come here. I'm not going to beg these guys to come here anymore when they don't want to come here. He's good. It's already a foregone conclusion. He's going to the Dodgers. He already said he wanted to play with Ohtani and Yamamoto. So what makes you think this is going to be different than Yamamoto and different than all the other Japanese stars that didn't want to play here? I mean, yeah, we got Matsui and Tanaka, but this guy is going to choose the Dodgers. It's already in the bag. He's going to the Dodgers.
National money.
Hey, but that's the thing. He could wait the 3 years to wait. They don't have to use the international money, Ally Yankee King, and that's what you got to ask yourself. If you're Roki, if you decide to opt out and force your way over here next year or the year after, you still have to go 6 years through the arbitration process, and you're risking an injury before you get your big time contract. If you were Roki, Li, right, and if you had a chance to make over $300 million, are you gonna wait 3 years or you gonna wait 6 to 7 years to get that $300 million? And give us an honest answer with that, Li. Go ahead.
Everybody's looking at this logically. We don't know what Roki wants.
But that's no. But that, hold on, that's not my question though. We have to look at it logically. So I want to ask you, if you were Roki, would you wait the 3 years to get your $300 million contract, or 6 to 7 years to get your $300 million contract?
One to two. But
you would wait. You would wait the 2 to 3 years to get paid instead of the 6 or 7 years, right, Li?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter what we say. Roki has had.
I know. We're not in Roki's head. I get that, Li. But I'm asking you, if you were Roki, I know if I was Roki, I'll wait 2 to 3 years to get paid instead of 6 or 7 years. So I'm asking you, if you were Roki, would you wait 2 to 3 years, or would you wait 6 to 7 years, risking an injury in that time to get paid?
2 to 3 years.
Bingo. And you know, and that's what it is. We have to be logical. Would I want Roki on the Yankees yet next year? Absolutely. I don't think there's any Yankee fan out there that wouldn't want Roki on the Yankees next year. If you wouldn't want Roki on the Yankees next year, if he said, listen, it's a guarantee I'm signing with the Yankees. If there's a Yankee fan out, if Caputo said, I don't want him, even though he said he wants to be a Yankee and he's willing to sign with the Yankees, I would say, Caputo, maybe there's an issue with you. We got to go to the doctor.
I didn't say that. I don't want him. No.
I know what you're saying. I was just using hypothetically. I know what you're saying. You're saying you think he's going to go with the Dodgers, and I'm definitely with you on that. But we got spring training around the corner, right? You know, we're going to wrap it up in a couple of more minutes. TC, we'll throw it over to you. What is the first thing on your mind going into spring training? Is it the health of Giancarlo Stanton? Is it the health of Anthony Rizzo? Or is it the bullpen? What's your number one priority in spring training? And then let's pass it around the panel. Li Yankee King to close us out. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat. Appreciate all of you fellas on the panel. My guy, Li Yankee King, the number one villain in Yankee universe. Go ahead, TC.
Now, you mentioned a lot of concerns, but I think you're forgetting the starting pitching, what that's going to look like. That's my major concern going into spring training, what that staff's going to look like. I think we have a decent amount of arms in the bullpen. We have a revamped offense with Verdugo and Soto. I mean, yeah, there's question marks with Stanton. I know he's slimmed down and working with a hitting coach, a new guy, and this and that. And Rizzo's coming off the head injury, and there's a lot of question marks. You know, what's DJ LeMahieu going to look like, and what's the third base? Is it going to be DJ? Is it going to be Peraza? Is it going to be alternating? So a lot of question marks, but my main concern, just like we've been talking with Caputo about Soto, what is that pitching going to look like, the starting pitching? So that's my major concern.
Yeah. Dr. Hiskins just said, I appreciate Li's take. I appreciate everybody's take. I'm someone that I always say we don't tell people how to fan. I know a lot of people, and I know Li be going back and forth with a lot of fans. I know he's coming from a place where he wants the Yankees to win, and I'm coming from a place where I want the Yankees to win, just like Caputo, just like Jonathan, just like everybody in the chat. You know, everybody's take is welcome, Everybody take here is respected. My take doesn't hold more weight than your take, right? As long as we're respectful to each other, we can have a conversation, right? That's how I like things. I love having conversations, no matter if I agree with someone or no matter if I disagree with someone. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, breaking news. Li, is that true? Shane Bieber just signed?
No, wait, what? Shane Bieber.
Arbitration. They avoided arbitration.
But that they could still make a trade.
Yeah. That's just a 1 year arbitration. Okay.
Right. He just signed it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it was just to avoid arbitration. Jesus Christ, I thought we was going to rock out for a whole nother hour. I thought we had some breaking news, guys.
No.
We got 93 likes. We are 7 likes away from 100. If you guys can smack that like button, and again, we are sitting at 2,784 subscribers. We are 16 away from 2,800. If you're watching, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Jonathan, I'm throw it over to you. Going into spring training, what's your thoughts? What's your worries? What's your concerns?
I think the biggest concern is actually starting pitching, because after Cole, who do you have after Cole? I think that's the number one concern. Everything else will be figured out eventually. But as the number one concern, definitely starting pitching, because the mistake really the Yankees made is they didn't have a backup plan in case they lost Yamamoto, which they did. What was their backup plan for that entire, what was it, 2 months they were after him plus after the season? They could have done a small trade, or I don't know, and they traded away Michael King, who could have been a starting pitcher, which I understand. I'm not against that because of Soto, but at the same time, you lost a potential starting pitcher.
Okay. The numbers are 13 million for Shane Bieber. Listen, if Shane Bieber is going to cost me 13 million, I'll trade for Shane Bieber for 1 year.
13.125.
13.125. I'll take that for 1 year. Caputo, throw it over to you, my guy. I know you have some concerns about the starting rotation. Besides the starting rotation, what's your worries about spring training, or going into spring training? I should say better. What's your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I think my main concern is the starting rotation, obviously, and I think we need to add a closer to this team, because I don't trust Clay Holmes, and I think they have to add at least one more relief pitcher. Like, they have to get – I would be okay with Jordan Hicks, even though I still want Josh Hader, but Jordan Hicks would be fine. I'm not going to it's not the end of the world if they don't get Josh Hader, but they have to fix that rotation, man. There's no way that you're going to go to spring training with this rotation right now. That's the number one concern. And if they get Snail, I'll be happy with it. I still would like to see them trade for Beaver too. And with Dylan Cease, I don't know why these Yankee fans are saying the guy is mid. He had one bad year last year, and they're all saying that the guy is Clark Schmidt 2.0, and the guy is definitely a really good young pitcher. Why do these fans hate Dylan Cease so much? He's
30 starts a year.
Yeah, what's the hate with Dylan Cease?
He had one bad year.
I would rather have him over Clark Schmidt. I mean,
plus 200 Ks.
Yeah, I don't know what the hate is. Would you rather have Dylan Cease or Clark Schmidt? It's not even. It's a no-brainer.
I would love to see what Matt Blake can do with Dylan Cease, right? If Dylan Cease could revert back to the year before when he was pitching to ERA under 3, 2 point something. W Fresh in the chat, you guys have 0 ties to the Yankees. I don't think any of us ever said that we have any ties with the Yankees. But W Fresh, if you want, you can catch me this Saturday. I'll be in SNY studio with my guy Dexter Henry talking about the Yankees. Folks, make sure you're tuned in on social media. I will be in studio with my guy Dexter Henry and the SNY building talking all things New York Yankees. Let's go. Go ahead, Jonathan. What was that?
Isn't the goal of this whole stream and this show is just to give our opinions? We have nobody here has a connection to the Yankees or Brian Cashman. This is just our scenario in case what we want the Yankees to do in our minds. No one has a connection to this. I don't have Brian Cashman's phone number and say, Cashman, trade for this guy. I want him on my team next year.
Oh, Anna said he was a bully troll. Well, we don't We don't like the bully trolls in the chat. Li Yankee King, the only troll that we love and admire is my guy Li Yankee King. But Li, going into spring training, I know you want Peraza at third base. Beside Peraza at third base, and I know you can't stand DJ LeMahieu. Besides DJ LeMahieu, what are your concerns going into spring training with this roster? Go ahead, brother.
The left-handed relief pitching of the bullpen. We have Victor Gonzalez and who else? So I would like to see AJ Puck come over from the Marlins because they're listening on everybody, which shocking. Marlins are potentially blowing it up again. Shocker.
Mm-hmm.
And get me Josh Hader. I don't care that Yankee fans are like, oh, he didn't pitch the 4-hour shave. He didn't go in the 4-hour shave when the Padres season was dead.
I just gotta say,
It was as
Yankee,
dead as my cold heart. Like, relax.
I gotta say, Yankee, you have a very Li Yankee King. You got a very entertaining baby voice. That's all I gotta say when it comes to that. But I appreciate all of you guys on the open panel. I'm gonna let you fellas down. My guy Jonathan, like always, appreciate you. Michael Capudes, you know, is all love over
Appreciate
here.
you guys.
And Li Yankee King, the only troll in the Yankee universe we acknowledge is our guy Li. I appreciate you guys. But TC, I was another great show, bro. That was another great show, another great conversation. Always appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chat as well. Big time Jerry Cadell is in the building. Great show, Hector. As always, happy
Love
New
that
Year
guy.
to all you guys. Rock on the morning brew. Let's have a great year. God bless. Big time Jerry. I appreciate you. Dr. Hitskin says, I'm crying on my phone. We like the crying. Right? I like you, Dr. Hiskins. I appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys in the chat. 01LS. Oh, wait 1 second. Oh, we got a $2 super chat. My guy Slim Lewis, NYY. The New York Yankees need to stop effing around. Sign Blake Snell. Listen, we had a point that we're talking about Marcus Stroman. We had a point where, you know, we're all agreeing with Michael Caputo. The Yankees need to do something ASAP. If not, if I got to agree with Michael Caputo some more, I think hell will freeze over. But I appreciate all of you guys in the chat. The Yankees need to do something. Hopefully, over the weekend, we got some breaking news. Maybe me and TC will go live if there's any breaking news out there for all you guys. Like I said earlier, maybe
later today if they sign Snell. Hey, what?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Talking about later today. Let's see. Hey, Brian Webster in the chat. I'll smack the shit out of your mama. How about that? But besides that, later on today, we have our next pregame report. Make sure you guys tune into the channel. The link for the watch along is in the description. You guys are more than welcome to come join the watch along. Like I said, appreciate all of you guys in the chat. Like always, it's deuces.